You know, I haven't made a gaming video on my YouTube channel here in a really long time. I just don't know what to think of. I know it's been a while, but I just have this blockage. I can't think. What should I make? Wait a minute. Why are 3 of my games up top here in this bag here? I'm gonna grab these here. Why aren't these in my collection? That's weird. You know, one thing these games do have in common, though, is they all came out in 2023. Put these games down here. Gotta put my thinking cap back on. You know what really makes me think better? When I'm hungry. You know, I am hungry. You know, I got that Take 5 Reese's bag in my sweatshirt here. Oh, this is so good. Let's think about a video now. This'll help me. Dang, Reese's are good. Alright, let's think. Back to making a video. I really wish I could just turn the light bulb on here in my head. Wait a minute. That's it. I got it. I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast.
2 hours later.
Hi everyone, this is James as VG Legends. That stands for Video Gamers Legends. And guess what? I'm back! I hope you all enjoyed that very interesting comical intro. We haven't done a video in a really long time here at VG Legends. I'm really excited to be back for you guys. And as you can see, we're doing my top 5 video games of 2023. Now, we thought that would be a great video to come back and do these videos for you. Now, our motto here on VG Legends has always been spreading positivity and love in the gaming community. So we're going to keep doing these giveaways, guys. So after this video, there will be a video coming up, an unboxing video of Spider-Man 2. Make sure you check that out in about a week or two. But anyways, to get to the giveaway, if you leave a comment on this video of what your favorite game of 2023 was, and if you like it and you are subscribed, you will have a chance 2 videos from now, which I will announce in that video, who the winner will be of a copy of either Rise of the Ronin for PS5 or another video game that's coming out in March is also Dragon's Dogma, but that can be on any platform that you choose. Now make sure you follow me on VG_Legends. That's on X now. That's my Twitter account. I still call it Twitter. Make sure you follow me there. My editor will leave that up there, VG_Legends. That way I can get a hold of you in the next couple of videos, so when we announce the winner, I can mail one of these games out to you. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the top 5 video games of 2023, starting with number 5. Here we go.
Number 5.
Now, the top 5 games that I have here are lined up. So number 5, as you see there, is Cereza and the Lost Demon. Now, this is actually a prequel to the Bayonetta series. Now, I still, and I've talked about this before, I think in a previous video, I do not know why nobody talks about this game, and I do not understand it. This game is absolutely incredible. Came out for the Switch, I believe it was March 2023. Now, Cereza this is when she's younger, so this is when Bayonetta is younger. She's known as Cereza back then, her actual name. Now, she's a little bit shy. She doesn't know her powers. She's trying to earn her powers as a witch. She's learning things. She's developing new powers. Now, first of all, the environment of this game is absolutely incredible. The environment that you're going through, this beautiful forest with Cereza and her cat Cheshire, is absolutely stunning. The graphics are beautiful. The music is very, very... It's delicate, it's nice, it's fluent, it's inviting. the graphic art, it's almost like a storybook. And it's, when you come to different scenes of the game, when they have cutscenes, it's more of like a storybook area. And they have a narrator. The voice acting is incredible in this game as well. Now the combat is incredible because you use different forms of the controller. I usually play my Switch in handheld mode. So when you're using combat with Cheshire, you're using the the right triggers, both triggers, the bumper and the little trigger there, as well as the left for Cereza when you're using her moves. Now, I've explained this before in a previous video, but it's almost like you're playing a co-op game as one person. So it's like you have somebody playing with you, but you're not, because when you're doing combat, you're using simultaneously each character as together at the same time. And that's where I think this game really shines. Now, and Cheshire is really cool because you develop, you acquire all these different abilities from these core abilities from Cheshire. I believe there's 4 core abilities. There's wood, there's stone, there's water, and there's fire. Now, there's different areas in the forest that you can't get to all the time, so you'll have to fight different bosses to develop or to get these abilities for Cheshire to go back to those areas, so you have to do some backtracking, which I think is actually a nice touch as well. There's a lot of puzzles that are involved, the enemy types are good, the different fairies and the different demons that you fight, the boss battles are epic. Just a really impeccable game for Nintendo Switch. I highly recommend it. That's why it's at number 5. Actually, IGN rated this game at a 9. This game needs to be played. If you like the Bayonetta series, you have to get this game. It's actually my favorite game in the entire series. Let's move on to number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, I forgot to mention, there will be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't played these games yet, just know that there's going to be heavy spoilers in a lot of these. But we all know what Resident Evil 4 is. Obviously, I played through the original like 4 times. It's in my top 5 video games of all time. I actually played the original on my PS2 in hype for this game before this game came out last year. And I'm telling you right now, I'll always like the original better. And the reason is, and we'll talk about the remake, what I don't like about the game. Obviously, it's my top 4 of 2023, so I do like the game. But the things I don't like that Capcom does with these Resident Evil remakes, they cut scenes out. They cut important parts out. First of all, the laser scene, the time scene is an example. I'll give a couple of examples. The U3 boss with those shipping containers that fall when you're trying to get away from them. That boss fight, the U3 boss, is epic. That should have been in this game, and that is the downfall of these games. That being said, Resident Evil 4 Remake is my favorite of the remakes so far. It's action-packed from beginning to end. I had a blast. First of all, Leon Kennedy is my favorite character in the Resident Evil series, so that helps. But just the gunplay and the response of the gunplay in this game is incredible. The best sounding guns I've heard in any of the Resident Evil games. The boss battles are epic. Everything is great. Obviously, we've already talked about the graphics. I did give away my PS5 version, but I was going to say, I did play them on both. I finished it on the Series X first, when I first got both copies, and I did play it a little bit on the PS5. I would recommend, if you haven't picked up this game yet, get the PS5 version. It is a little bit smoother. And I haven't played the DLC part, the DLC yet, of Separate Ways, and I'm going to play that soon. But this game is incredible, and even though it's a remake, I loved it from beginning to end, like I said, and that's why it's in my top 5 of 2023 at number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, now, I gotta tell you, I think I like getting my butt kicked in video games now, and I'm starting to like Soul-like games because I like games that are challenging, and it makes it more fun for me as a gamer to, even though I die a lot, probably more than the average person, I don't know, I like playing these Soul-like games. And number 3 is Lies of P because of that. And Lies of P is an incredible game, and you have to play it. I'm telling you, you have to play this game. First of all, you play as Pinocchio, and I got it on the PS5 here. You play, and this copy is actually still sealed because I got it digitally and loved it so much I picked up a physical copy. I haven't even opened it yet. Now, Lies of P, you obviously play as Pinocchio, and you're going through the wonderful world of Krat to try to save your creator, Geppetto. Now, he gets kidnapped, and first of all, the environment of this game is incredible. It takes place during the 19th and 20th century of early Europe. Now, the buildings, the European buildings and vibe, it just looks gorgeous. And I love the different outfits that you have to change for Pinocchio. They're great. The combat is where this game shines. It is so fun because the weapons hit so hard. Actually, my favorite part about the weapons in this game is how you can create your own. Basically, through the whole game, at the beginning of the game, you get this electric staff. And I used the handle of that weapon, combined it with this sword blade at the beginning of the game that I got, and I used that all the way up to almost near the end of the game before I decided to use the fire blade, which I put a different staff handle on that one too to make it longer, almost like a spear, because most of the enemies I found out are susceptible to fire damage. So I built my character around that. That's another thing of the way that you can upgrade and build your character around and do certain builds. I ended up going with a vitality build, and so I could be more quick, more stamina, vitality and stamina, and I used that fire build with the fire spear and also with my mechanical arm, which there's different mechanical arms that you can use, but my favorite one, there's the grap-pulley arm, there's the electrical one, but I like the fire the best because I like to combine that with my weapon to get that extra fire damage. Now, I died 1 billion times. Now, I didn't farm as much in this game as I did in, let's say, Elden Ring, but I enjoyed the farming. The farming was actually a lot of fun. There's mini bosses before the main bosses, so farming to level up, to get good, to beat those mini bosses, to beat those big bosses, it's a challenge, and that's what I loved. Like I said, I love about the game. Now, the enemy types are awesome too. They, because of this puppet rot, or whatever it's called, that the alchemists have kind of developed because they have this agenda. And that's another thing I gotta mention, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but there is a story to this game. The story's not incredible, but it is there. So it's like playing a Souls game with a story that you can actually understand. And since these alchemists have this agenda, the puppets actually have this rot on them, so a lot of them are mutated, but basically they're killing all the humans in Krat. So you gotta defeat all these puppets, and you even have to fight human enemies that are trying to loot and trying to do other things as well. I'm telling you guys, this story and the gameplay and everything about this game is so epic. It said that a really good Souls player could beat this game in 28 to about 34 hours. It took me 70 hours. But it was hard for me, so back off, okay? No, it's an awesome game. I'm telling you. Buy Lies of P, my number 3 game of 2023. Awesome game.
Number 2.
Number 2, Spider-Man 2. I had to do it, guys. I had to do it. I played through all the Spider-Man games. Spider-Man 2018, Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I even liked better than 2018, the original, and now Spider-Man 2, which is my favorite one of the series so far. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Spider-Man 2 hoodie here with Venom on it. Insomniac has done something incredible here with these games. And what I would say with that is obviously the gameplay is incredible. The first thing I noticed when I started playing Spider-Man 2 is how I missed the combat in that game. The combat that is so much like the Arkham Batman-esque Knights, the Arkham Knight games, but even better. More fluent. more fluent than the other two Spider-Man games, and I'm telling you what, the timed animation attacks are incredible in this game. And obviously, you get to fight as Venom in this game. Another thing that Insomniac, I'm going to say it right now, that they're doing great with these games, the storytelling. Spider-Man, now with this series, this is the third game in the series now, Spider-Man 2 is one of the best storytelling games I've ever played. In terms of the actors, the acting of Miles and Peter, some of the best acting of those two gentlemen who played those two parts in a video game I've ever seen. Absolutely tremendous. I had a blast from beginning to end, and a lot of that isn't just the gameplay, it's from the story. And a lot of that has to do with little nuances, with Peter living with Mary Jane now, so you get kind of a taste of how they live together outside of the city, in the suburb area of New York City. You get Martin Lee, who is Mr. Negative, and the story, how it compels with him and Miles. Miles has resentment towards him because he obviously killed Miles' father. But then you learn towards the end of the game that they actually become allies and they put their differences aside. So not only do you fight Martin Lee, he becomes an ally towards the end. Just incredible. At the beginning of this game, when you fight the Sandman, at the beginning of this game, is an amazing, epic intro. The boss battles are incredible. I actually struggled on a few of them. And I think I was streaming, and I struggled fighting Dr. Connors as the Lizard. But until I figured out I could use the vents on the floor and the vents on the wall against him. But that fight is epic. Craven as a protagonist is brilliant. And also, he ties into the brilliancy of the story. Just being a character that wants to have a challenge to somebody who can actually fight him good, because there's been nobody that's ever been able to fight him and give him a challenge until there's Venom. And then Venom, you get to play as Venom, Venom being as Harry Osborn, and then Peter becomes Venom as well. And then at the end, how you learn how Venom is got this edge to him, and Venom has this like evilness to him, and then you think you're fighting Craven at the end, and then throws you to a twist, and then you have to actually fight with Peter and Miles at the end together to fight Venom at the end. Just an absolutely epic story, incredible animations, and I gotta say, fighting with Venom, as Venom with Peter, is one of the best fluency of attacks I've ever played in a video game. So freaking fun, the combat playing as Venom. This game is epic, this game is brilliant, and I don't even know why it didn't get basically any awards at the 2023 Game Awards. It should have gotten way more. I can't wait to see what Insomniac does for the next installment in these games. Spider-Man 2, number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Number 1.
My number 1 video game of 2023, it's gotta be Tears of the Kingdom, guys. I mean, come on. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What else would it be? I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. I've got my original copy here. I've also got my Steelbook copy here. I don't even know what to say. I'd be afraid to admit, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm lost of what to say, because when I did play this game, I haven't played it in a while, I was lost in it. I put over 270 hours in this game already. The intro, the beginning is brilliant. The way they start the game, the music is brilliant at the beginning of the game. When you go and you see down in that cave, and Link gets his arm torn off. The beginning is brilliant. How you start in the Sky World is brilliant. How Nintendo was brilliant to develop the Sky World as well as the Underworld below. Brilliant. The storytelling's brilliant. How you find the different tiers with Impa. And you have to find these different tiers to find different cutscenes of the story and put them together in order. Brilliant. The way that Zelda turns into, like I said, there's going to be spoilers. The way that Zelda sacrifices herself and turns into a dragon. Brilliant. The way the Master Sword breaks and the way that you have to find it. Brilliant. The way that you go to look for Ganondorf inside the underworld towards the end of the game. Brilliant. The way that Nintendo brought these NPCs to life when you go to your familiar areas in all these Zelda games, like Rito Village and Zoran Domain, and you have to use these different characters once you get these different sages so they can fight by your side. Brilliant. Nintendo does something that is different from any video game developer. They are able to take the same characters that we have beloved for many, many years, in terms of, you could say it's either Mario or Link from Zelda or Samus from Metroid, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and they make different twists on the same characters in different games that are always absolutely brilliant. I beat this game in about 200 hours, put 70 more hours into it. I still have to do a lot of the shrines. Oh, I haven't even said it yet. I've talked about all this brilliancy. I haven't even talked about the different abilities that Link has in his arsenal as compared to Breath of the Wild. This is like Breath of the Wild 3.0, because you have the fusion ability, you have the ability where you can rise up and go through anything. You can go through rocks, you can go through mountains. This game is my favorite game now of all time. It first was Ocarina of Time, but I don't see how any game is better than this game. And I don't understand how people wouldn't think that. I adore this game, and I'm telling you what, I don't know what Nintendo's going to do next with The Legend of Zelda. I don't know if they'll still stick with this same style of game like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's almost like they've topped the level of where they can go, so you're wondering where they're going to go next. But I'll tell you what right now, I have faith in Nintendo, and I know that whatever they do next is going to be just as good as what they did before. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, my number one game of 2023. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. My first video back in a really long time. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Now remember, whatever you do that's involved in the game of your life, always keep it legendary. If you want a chance to win a copy of Rise to the Ronin on the PS5 or a copy of Dragon's Dogma on any platform, make sure you follow me on VG_Legends on my X account, Twitter, X/Twitter account, and also make sure you like this video, comment what your favorite video game was of 2023, and also subscribe. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you for the next one. Peace out. Now, we do video games doo-doo. I just said doo-doo. That's hilarious.